Peter Pepper picked a pack of pickled peppers.
All right.
How can I say that clear and articulate? And then when I use my normal words, I think my cheeks are getting fat and it's making it hard to talk.
You're getting all fatty fat.
But it's funny. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't feel like I talk like that, but I feel like I've cut some weight. But I feel like my cheeks are fat, and that's what makes me talk like I'm drunk when I'm not.
Well, at least you don't have to tuck in your shirt, so old Einstein ain't all smooshed up.
That's true. Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
That's right, America. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the lost art of common sense. This week we are going to be talking about foreign affairs, foreign policy, stuff like that. But first, I want to give a few of my thoughts on the old Gen Z episode Josh did last week because he would not let me be on the show. He basically told me I'm a loser and that I should go sit and spin.
That was a true statement.
So basically, I'm going to run down real through it in probably less than a minute. Gen Z is spoiled. They do want the American dream. They don't want to work for it. Their parents told them they are good as they are, and so they feel they're special and don't want to put hard work in, where every other generation has put the work in and climbed the ladder, per se. And no, they're just a bunch of spoiled brats. And not all of them, obviously, but, plus universities, all schooling pretty much is not helping this whole situation, all telling them that, their feelings matter. So, their voice matters, where really you're a cog in the machine until you're on top. Then you are the machine. It's like you're the dick in a giant robot until you're the head.
What the fuck? That was a horrible analogy. That could be a shirt.
Not sure. All right, well, but that's basically what I wanted to say. Kids are spoiled. Don't be a dick until you're the head. So there you are.
Okay.
All right. So, Josh, let's get to this week's episode on foreign affairs, or as I put it, foreign Assfairs, because Biden is botching this shit up. What do you think of Biden's foreign policy over the course of his presidency? Run down all his accomplishments and his fails.
I don't know of any accomplishments that he's done. I think his foreign policies are pretty well carried over since he was a senator. Like, he's been notoriously known for, like, if you want to know what to do on the world stage, do the opposite of whatever Biden says. Didn't matter if he's a senator, vice president, now the president. His foreign policies, his way of dealing with the world is just horrible. Like, I think the problem they're dealing with now is he's trying to appease his base, and that's why he's like wavering, which apparently is still rock solid with Israel. And he's not doing it because he believes one thing or another. He's doing it because his crazy ass left wing base wants him to do it. I mean, when you get 100,000 plus uncommitted votes during your primary, because apparently it's from a bunch of terrorist supporters. Because if you notice at a lot of these protests, there's generally one asshole with a Hamas flag. And also chanting death to America. But, I mean, you got that. You got Ukraine. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people see that as a win. Oh, we're keeping Ukraine in the fight and giving them all this money and blah, 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 blah. And we're getting aid to Gaza. But we're also back in Israel. And we helped stop the missiles from Iran, but we won't help you offensively and this and that. Like, there's no stability whatsoever. And even we'll talk about it a little bit more later under the happenings of the week. But you know that guy from the bald guy from Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary. He was on Outnumbered today, and they were talking about it. And he went to I guess he went to the G7 summit or something. He went to some world summit where there's like hundreds of countries represented.
There's like 8 different summits like that. There's like a G12, G7, G9.
Yeah, or maybe he said G20, but he went to some world summit, and there's like hundreds of countries. You know, over 100. There's not hundreds. There's over 100 countries, but there's a shit ton of countries represented there. And he was talking to people, and even like what he's doing domestically is making us look weak and pathetic on the world stage. Like all this fucking lawfare shit that he's doing, everyone who matters overseas thinks we're a fucking joke. So it's like the dude's making us look like a bunch of weak, pathetic assholes on every level. And I honestly, and if I could think of something that he's done good, I would say it. But I mean, he may have, but as of right now, like I can't think of anything. Maybe you had something in mind, but I honestly can't think of anything.
Nope, I have nothing. And you forgot one of his biggest blunders was Afghanistan.
Yes, that is definitely the. Well, you can argue that the Afghanistan is what led to Russia and
it was
Israel conflict.
And even the way, did you know China's ramping up their nuclear arsenal? By the end of the decade, they'll have doubled their nuclear arsenal from 500 to 1,000 missiles.
I didn't know that, and I don't understand why anybody would do that. Nobody fucking wins a nuclear war. I think nuclear weapons are stupid.
500 is more than enough to destroy the world.
I mean, yeah, their 1,000 isn't anything compared to our 3 to 5,000, but it's like, oh yeah, we got thousands of nukes. We could blow the world up 100 times. Nukes are fucking stupid.
I think
nobody should have them.
I think at one point we almost had 20,000 nuclear weapons.
I won't be surprised. I mean, I just don't.
Then we started doing the whole,
something to do with when the Soviet Union fell. We had some kind of nuclear arms agreement that we would
we
not
would
make any new ones, and then just
maintain. And I think we said we'd go down to 20% of what we had. So I think that's what we did.
I just think, I don't know. I know, like, you see these crazy assholes. That's why. Well, yeah, it's foreign affairs. He got us back. That's another stupid thing he did. Didn't he get us back into the Iranian nuclear deal?
He's trying to. He didn't do it because no one, I think everybody figured I think he was going to do it. Then Iran kept fucking things up,
Well, I know he lifted some sanctions.
Oh, yeah, he gave him like...
He lifted the oil embargo because
so that's what
China's bought millions of oil.
Yeah.
Millions of barrels of oil from Iran.
And that's pretty much what's funding Iran supporting all these terrorist groups.
Yeah, like he just...
Hezbollah, the one that's north of Israel. I can't remember what that one is. The Houthis. How did I not know about... I forgot about them and the Blowfish.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird... There's actually one that kind of sounds like that.
And Hamas. No, it's the Houthis.
No, there's like Whoopies or something.
No, it's
the
Houthis.
Whoopies ISIS. No, it's an ISIS thing, and they have a real silly name. I'm sure over there it's very intimidating, but over here it's not so much. I don't think it's the Whoopies, but it's something like that. The kid that I brought up that wanted to do in the last episode that wanted to shoot up a bunch of churches, the ISIS faction that he was pledging his allegiance to was like some weird sounding. I'm like, oh, I bet over there people are just like, oh no, the Whoopi Wombat ISIS blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, that doesn't sound intimidating at all. Oh no, but in Farsi, it's very scary.
Yeah. We're the puppies. What? This?
Yeah.
It's horrible name.
It's horrible. No, over here it means Satan's taint.
Satan's taint.
Well, it's hot over there. They're always sweaty.
Yes.
It works. It works.
Gooch sweat terrorists.
It's funny, though, that I didn't think of the Afghan withdrawal because I honestly think that was the first domino.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first thing I thought about.
that led
Then
to Russia, and then Russia and the way we handled that led to, or allowing for it to happen. I mean, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. I just don't think that would have happened under Trump. I don't think Trump's lying about that. But I think that also led to the fucking Hamas shit. So yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Of course, my brain's a
yeah,
little, a little touched.
it's a little foggy at times.
It
A little
is.
foggy. So, how would you compare him and Trump on foreign policy?
Well, I think foreign policy wise, I think Trump was probably one of the better presidents that we've had to deal with foreign policy.
Yeah, I think his
If
foreign
you're trying
policy
to
was
be
outstanding.
kumbaya and not upset anybody and we're all one big happy family kind of shit, then yeah, I can see it not liking the way Trump handles stuff. But as far as putting America's needs and America first, and then also cooling the temperature of the world, not climate wise, uh, acting wrongly against other people wise. Uh, he was better at everything. I mean, there were no new wars. He ended wars. I mean, and then we were doing good. He had Iran bankrupt. It's just on the world stage, everything. Well, domestically, I think everything was better up until COVID happened. So, I mean, it's a night and day. Like if you wanted to, if those are the two extremes, I honestly think, because I think Trump was one of, if not the best foreign policy president we had. I mean, you could argue Reagan with bringing down the Soviet Union by tricking them into going to democracy. I
Yeah.
got you fuckers. But yeah, I mean, just all the stuff he did as far as for the benefit of America and making the country more stable and safe. I mean, I would honestly say that he's probably one of the great or better presidents for that. And then Biden's just probably the worst.
I've absolutely look what Trump did. Pretty much he pretty much brought peace in the Middle East. I mean, obviously Palestine was never going to be peaceful, but I mean they weren't attacking Israel. But he brought on the Abraham Accords. He dropped
Another
that big
thing that I
ass.
like to call the coming of the four horsemen.
Yeah, but then Biden ruined that all that.
Yep.
Then
Did Biden stave off the end of the world?
maybe he did.
Wasn't that like one of the omens for the second coming of
Yeah,
Christ? Is
peace
when
in the
there's
Middle
peace in the
East.
Middle East.
Yeah, maybe Biden was doing this the whole time because he's a good Catholic boy.
Oh my gosh, Biden's a prophet.
Then, but he also dropped that. Trump also dropped that giant bomb in Syria, killing a bunch of Al Qaeda members. Then he pretty much told Vladimir Putin that you fuck with Ukraine, we will bomb Moscow. So I mean, it was all this stuff that and people didn't know if he was if Trump's just being Trump or if Trump was serious because he was a fucking wild card, and you don't fuck with somebody who's a wild card. China got China got embargoed. China was kept in check. Now they're running rampant, building nukes, threatening Taiwan. They didn't do that under Trump, but once Biden came in, fucked up Afghanistan. Pretty much everybody just realized, you can just run all over America, and they will do nothing. Especially now because, like you said, Biden's trying to placate to his far left weirdos who are pro terrorists, to get those 10,000 votes or 100,000 votes in Dearborn, Michigan, because Michigan's a battleground state, which he's losing by 5 points. So I don't know. I don't know, man. It just seems like if I feel being president shouldn't be trying to get elected to be president again. It should be about changing the world and helping Americans.
And that, sir, is why you just made the case on why Trump has to be our next president or we're
Oh, I know.
fucked.
Yeah, I agree. Because I don't know what Biden will do in his second term, because then he can just be he can just be a fucking, he can be controlled by his robot masters.
Well, apparently there's a lot of gun control that's going to come out. We probably will go into World War III. That's another thing. It's not just him because obviously he's not doing a lot, and it's his advisors that are pretty dumb when it comes to world affairs. Because there's colonels that are saying, and I don't even know if they're retired, but they'll be on Fox. I don't know if they're playing snippets from other shows because I listen to most Fox News. I just listen to on the radio. But saying, "Oh no, we have to stop Russia here. They're going to go into other countries." Russia is not going into a fucking NATO country. It's
No,
not going to happen. Anybody who
no.
believes that should be fired.
It's all scare tactics to fucking.
If that was actually going to happen, then what would happen is Russia and China would have formed a formal alliance and we'd be in a world war. Because the only way that Russia's ass is going into a NATO country, which I'm pretty sure all the countries that border Ukraine, maybe not all of them, but I'm pretty sure are fucking NATO countries. So if they cross that line, then we're in a world war. Because the only way they're going to do that is they got China backing them up. I'm not exactly sure what the fuck Iran can do with them. I mean, right now I think they're helping run arms up to Russia, but
I don't know what Iran can do. I mean, I don't think they have much, do they? I mean,
I don't know.
like
They fired off half of their ballistic missiles at Israel.
And only 7 hit. And
well, half of them failed on the launch pad.
Such a fucking.
They're just an angry people.
Like, I don't know. They're dumb.
Yeah.
Well, they know Biden's not going to do anything.
No. Well,
what has Biden's response been to actual Iran?
Don't.
Yes, don't. I'm pretty sure he told Russia, don't.
He told everybody don't. Like, it was funny.
And everybody's like, well,
what the hell's that dude's name? Who's the Fox reporter? It's his dad's on the Fox and Friends. Something.
Is it Bear? Is it Bear?
No, Ducey.
Ducey. Oh, the White House correspondent.
But he was asking that piece of shit Kirby. So are you guys like thinking of changing stuff since don't doesn't work? Because literally, like a day or two after you said don't, they fired over 300 rockets at fucking Israel. And he's like, he didn't say don't. And Kirby's like, oh, I'm assuming you're talking about don't. Yeah, that word that doesn't work ever. I got one word for you. Don't. Oh, no, they did it. Please don't. Stop it.
Did you know that we knew it was going to happen?
I'm sure.
That we gave the green light to Iran to do it?
I didn't know about that. That sounds a little conspiratorial.
No, it's like a White House guy actually said that they did.
What?
Yeah. They said they could go, like, they gave them permission to strike against Israel, but only up to a certain amount.
I don't think I like that.
No.
I don't think Israel would like that. Unless they're all in on it, like, unless this is all a big fucking game, but
I don't know. They're like, hey, because they got to save face with their people because, Israel attacked that or blew up that, I don't know.
Well, what happens is if Iran did nothing, the problem is their proxies will turn on them. Because their proxies are like the far left dipshits we have in this country. They're all like completely ideologically compromised. They drank the Kool-Aid. There's no coming back. And if they see Iran falter, then they're going to be like, oh, well, fuck you. And they'll start attacking them too. It's just like how the left swiftly turns on its own. As soon as you don't fall whatever, fucking religion that they're pushing, doctrine that they're pushing at that moment, they'll turn and be like, heretic! Ah! So
fanatics, man.
Stupid people.
So do you think Trump could turn things around if he's elected? And how do you think he could do this?
I think he could. I think if he gets reelected, I think things will naturally kind of calm down on their own. Now, granted, 9/11 supposedly happened by terrorists. Happened under Bush, but I don't know. It just seems like people don't fuck around as much when there's a Republican in office.
I agree. Well, I think because,
but can he I think he can bring, I think we said before, there'll probably be some land concessions for Ukraine, but I think he can probably bring both to a
mutual
an ending. Ceasefire. Like he'll end the wars. I think
so too.
When Trump talks after he started blowing people up when they crossed his red lines, people tend to listen.
Yeah. And I think they will listen because what Biden hasn't done in Ukraine is give a solution to how to end the war. And I think that's if there is a solution of how to end the war, even like try to get a ceasefire, do that. But they haven't done anything. Of
That's a
course, I
weird
haven't
thing.
heard.
Either Russia's military is super weak
Yeah,
because like we're just
it's
playing to
been what 3 years now.
damn near at least two
Yeah,
and a half, and like we're just
yeah,
playing to keep the game going. Like
yeah.
it's a fucking weird conflict. It's like so Russia can't beat Ukraine with our stuff, and Ukraine can't win with our stuff. So it's like this weird fucking stalemate where just billions of dollars are being spent.
And
Like,
like I
it's
said,
weird.
I believe it's just a fucking money laundering scheme.
On our end, I guarantee you it's a huge money laundering scheme.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, do you think people should put blame on Biden for how the world is going in the shitter right now? I missed this
Yes.
question. That should have been the one
You
before
skipped
the.
it.
I did. I accidentally.
It's your unprofessionalism.
I know.
You can't help it. It just oozes from your pores.
But do you believe people should put blame on Biden
Yeah.
or his administration? I don't know if you. I don't think. I don't know if you can put blame on him for anything, or even like if he did something good. I don't think you could.
He's the asshole signing the paper. And I'm
but
an equal opportunist. I don't care if someone's
you don't
old or
know
whatever's
if
wrong with
Jill's
them.
in there. You don't know if Jill's forging his signature.
Or they could have a signing machine.
Yeah,
Like,
he might be a machine himself.
when you see him
A shitty Terminator.
when you see him signing like bills in front of everybody, he's actually drawing like a stick figure doing inappropriate stuff. Because that's what he does. It's like, and here's the stick figure smelling the smaller stick figure's hair.
This is this stick figure taking a shower with his daughter.
It's like, oh no, this goes to a special room. This doesn't go into the official file.
Yeah, I think you can blame it all on him and his administration. His whoever's guiding him on foreign affairs and foreign policy is they're wrong about everything.
I don't know. Some top advisor of the White House got caught by Project Veritas saying that there's a couple aides. The Clintons do have daily contact with the White House. So does Obama. But Biden does whatever the fuck his advisors tell him to do.
Well, I guarantee. Well, he's fucking mentally incapable of doing anything.
Yeah, like whatever the people around him, his advisors, like tell him to do, he'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah." He has no fucking clue what the hell he's doing. So it's a handful of people basically pushing the third term of Obama. Is what's happening. So there's a video floating around too, like it's called the Ultimate Red Pill thing. It's about a guy who had, I don't know if he had bone cancer, but he had some kind of cancer. He survived it, but he ended up losing his arm from it. And he became a Republican, or at least left the Democrat Party. Might have became one of those flaky independents. But because of Obamacare. Because he had good insurance for him to deal with what he was dealing with. And then Obamacare came out and they made him drop or get rid of the plan because it wasn't good enough according to Obamacare. And then when it came out, he couldn't fucking afford it. So it was like, well, either have a roof and over my kid's head and food on the table, or make things real tight and pay for this bloated, don't need all this bullshit healthcare. So he chose to take care of his family. So he went like 10 years without having insurance, and then he got taxed on it every fucking year.
Yeah, it's like $6,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he said it was bullshit. So he's like, and he made the point. He's like, he was trying to make the point, like, don't vote against somebody. Like, if you don't like Trump and you don't like Biden, but you're on the left, then just don't vote. Because people that need relief from the 3.5 years of bullshit can't afford to have a bunch of angry dipshits going out and voting for Biden because Trump said something they didn't like, and they're fucking stupid people. Like all the people that support the left, like the things where Biden is strong, are supposed to be educated people, and they're dumb as fuck.
Well, that's because they don't have any common sense.
They must be over the 400,000 mark, because they say that's the mark where this inflation is not really kicking your ass.
Like what the shirt I'm wearing that you can get from our merch shop. Common sense Not so common.
That's right. Not so common.
Not so common. So if you like this shirt, go to our merch shop. I think Josh will probably put it in the show somewhere or in the description, right?
Yeah, I always put the link in the description.
So there you go. Visit our shit and buy our shit.
That's right.
Also, like, subscribe, and share. All that stuff. All that
Yeah.
stuff. Make us popular. Because, I don't want to work anymore. I just want to talk to you people.
That's right. I'm building something great to achieve my American dream by sitting in a chair and not doing anything physical. But in our defense, we've been doing arguably some pretty rough physical labor jobs for like 20 years. So come on.
Yeah, just give a guy a break here. I mean, come on.
I need to be able to make just enough money to afford an X chair because my little stool that I sit in now isn't very comfortable, which is why you may or may not see me moving around a lot.
It's not very comfortable.
No, I even got one of those gel pads. It's a bar stool.
No, why don't you get a regular chair?
Because my studio desk is a bar.
Oh, yeah.
So I need a taller chair. Either that or I'll get like 3 more gel pads and I'll be like,
I think you can just get
I'm finally comfortable.
Can't you just get like a chair like mine? Just raise it up.
Not that high.
Can you not? Oh, that sucks.
I mean, it's not bad. I only sit in it for an hour. If we were doing this shit every day, I'd be getting something different.
Yeah, you might want to.
I'd have a nice desk made out of oak.
Well, if we're making the money to do this every day, you might be able to, build a small studio somewhere.
You know what you should do is comment below on whether or not you'd like us to start doing a live episode one day a week.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing one like every Tuesday, maybe the day after our episode drops.
We're still trying to figure out how that works with the software we use to record the show, but
yeah,
as you've seen our random ass live test things we do.
Yeah, so we might do that. We might try another random one here. I don't know, maybe we can do it Tuesday or something. We'll see where we're at. Depends how work is and stuff. So, but I wouldn't mind doing it. I wouldn't mind doing a live episode every week.
No, I'm fine with it. I don't have anything to do at that point.
Yeah.
You just do it and you're done.
Just do it and that's it. Yeah. There ain't no fancy graphics.
So well, yeah, that's the only thing. I don't even know if we can do the background with the logo. I got to mess around with that stuff. But, I mean, it's not like this is much different. We don't do a whole lot of editing. I just chop stuff up to make it look fancier. To jump back and forth. Ooh, these guys fancy are professional.
Stuff. Yeah, make it look fancy.
But, okay, what would you do? Oh, you're going to ask me. You have a question to ask me, Kevin.
Yeah, it's my show. This is my turn. That's my turn.
I'm running your show, taking over.
Yeah. It's bullshit. Do one episode by yourself. All of a sudden, you think you're Mr. Special. If you had the power, how would you try and fix things around the world?
Well, I would put all sanctions back in place that crippled Iran, and I would probably go to a 10 times multiplier response, which I think you can do if you're attacked as president. I know you can't go to war, but basically, because we've lost 3 soldiers from Iran, and I would let Iran know that I am considering all of your proxies you. So if you fire a rocket at one of our bases, I'm firing 10 rockets that are 10 times stronger than the one you shot at your base. And the first time they did it, I would do it. And that would go for anybody else. 10 times multiplier response.
I like that response.
I mean,
that's a good response.
Well, especially like there, you could probably sit down and actually reason with, you could probably even sit down and reason more with China and Russia, not have to actually do that. But like places like Iran, they literally only respond to force.
Yeah, that's all they respect.
They don't give a shit about anything. Like if you say, you bombed a storage shed in the back of my back of our base, so I blew up 10 of your power plants. I mean, that's just it. I wouldn't even go to a war with Iran. Everyone's like, oh, can't go to war. I would not go to war with Iran. I would blow up their entire infrastructure system and not give a shit. It's like power plants, water treatment plants, airports, bridges, railways, every fucking road going out of that country, gone. Looks like you're going back to riding the camels.
I agree 100% what you just said. Like that's a pretty good policy.
Yeah, I mean that's what Israel used to do. Like
Yeah, and I
back
would
when
try to.
Israel first was formed, they had basically that kind of thing, where if they blew up a building, Israel would blow up a town.
Yeah,
Like,
well, they had to because everybody was against them.
yeah, the
Yeah,
repercussions were so harsh, and that was the whole deal. You make the response so over the top that no one would be dumb enough to test them. But in this modern day of civilized warfare and all this other stuff, and I get it, it sucks when innocent people die, but the assholes of the world that torture, kill, and use humans for shields, they take advantage of that, and it makes us weaker. So it's like, everyone's bitching about, oh, it's genocide in Gaza, blah, blah, blah. They elected Hamas to lead them. They allowed Hamas to stay in power, and it's not fucking genocide. And everything that's going on in Gaza right now, every death for every uh, Gazan citizen is on the head of Hamas. They started it. They're not giving. No one ever talks about Hamas surrendering. They don't call for Hamas to surrender and give up the hostages.
every
Israel has to
ceasefire they've
stop what they're
tried to
doing.
have, every ceasefire they've tried to have, every diplomatic solution they've had, Hamas has turned down.
Yeah,
Everyone,
and
because
nobody's saying anything to or about Hamas.
well, Hamas knows that no one's going to blame them.
It's
They
like
have
you're a bunch of losers. Just give up the hostages, and then the rest of your Palestinians will stop, dying because they're casualties of war that you started and that you are keeping going. The only people keeping this war going is Hamas, and they started it.
yeah. What I don't get if people are if let's say Mexico shot 300 or came in and killed 1,000 people, do you not think we would swiftly destroy Mexico?
Yeah. It wouldn't be like, oh, well, I'm going to blow up this.
Yeah, no. The
I
people
honestly
would.
think that our politicians are getting paid by cartels or something because I don't know why we haven't deemed cartels because really what's cartels are killing more Americans than anything else.
Yeah. Why are they not considered a terrorist group?
Yeah, and I would just go in and wipe them out.
Yeah.
It's like you tell Mexico, I'm like, you got 6 months to take care of the cartels, and if you don't, we're taking care of them.
Yeah. They're killing 100,000 people a year.
Yeah. I mean, they kill more than anybody through fentanyl
Yeah.
overdoses and all that other shit. So
All right. I think you should go in and just wipe them out.
it's like, you're invading Mexico. No, I'm not. I'm taking care of a roach problem.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm leaving as soon as that's
Well,
done.
the problem is all of Mexico is being fucking paid by cartels. So,
Well, that's why you got to go in and pull Jim Bowie in the Mexican president's office. Just start
yo.
kicking the furniture to the corner, pull out a big old knife, throw it on the floor. I'm like, all right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a team up to take care of the cartels, i.e., you're going to open the doors with a big smile on your face, and I'm going to come in and kill all your cartel members, and then I'm going to go ahead and leave, and you can stop saying little snarky shit about me on the TV. Sound good? All right. You can keep that knife. I signed it for you.
Go ahead and yeah, there you go.
It's the
Jim Bowie
greatest knife. It's so sharp. Don't stare at it. You'll cut your eye.
All right. Well, that's all I had for foreign affairs, foreign policy. So I thought that was Biden sucks. Vote Trump.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
let's try to put out this fucking fire that Biden started.
That's right. Oh, you stupid, uneducated people that are apparently
No,
Republicans.
they're educated. Oh
No,
yeah.
I'm talking
Well,
about us. We're all stupid and
yeah,
uneducated.
yeah. We just happen to know things. Um, just common sense shit. So let's move on to our winners and losers of the week.
Boom, boom, boom.
Let's always start with the negative. Josh, who is your loser?
I'm not 100% sure on his first name, but I think his name is Alan Braggs.
Is it Alvin? I thought it was Alvin.
Alvin Braggs. I don't know. He's a piece of shit. The
Like the
DA for New
chipmunk.
York. That guy's a fucking loser because he is destroying people's confidence in the judicial system. I don't even not sure how he's allowed to flip state charges into federal charges and then enforce them because he's not the federal government. Like he literally, the statute he's using is a federal statute, something that you would be charged and prosecuted by the federal government for. So how the fuck does a city DA do that? That I don't know. And then nobody still knows what the magical 34th fucking indictment is. Like the 33 is the same three charges on all 11 payments. And then there's this 34th one that nobody knows what the fuck it is, including Trump's defense team.
It's the surprise indictment. Like, how do you?
It's abusing spray on tan. We don't let that shit stand in New York.
Let's be real. This is all a sham. This is a political stunt. It's a farce. It's Banana Republic shit. And
I think he's treating it like a game. That's why. Like when I say loser, I mean that with every meaning of the word, because he's causing irreparable harm to the fucking country. Like, I don't even know how we're going to get past this. Our country is on a quick downslope.
Oh yeah, and no, we're
I just hope this doesn't happen for tit for tat. Like, yeah, I want to see a bunch of Democrats and shit going to prison, but I do not hope that this goes flip flop in every fucking election cycle.
I know. They're turning this whole. They're destroying this country, and people are disallowing it and turning a blind eye, or even rooting for it because they're idiots. All right, well, I'm going to stay in the same great city of New York. Only mine is Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, because his city is so shitty that Ukrainians want to go back home because of the crime and pretty lawlessness going on in New York.
That's what.
So they'd rather go back home. They'd rather go back home in a war zone than live in New York.
Well, that.
Like refugees, like people were afraid for their lives, decided, nope, this was wrong.
It's better in Ukraine.
So, yeah, that is my loser of the week. New York, you're doing a stand-up job being a cesspool. And they're turning it back to what New York was in like the 70s and 80s before Giuliani. Pretty much a big, giant garbage can of crime and shitty policies.
It'd be really nice if people fucking paid attention to history and realized that you go back when all these fucked up times, and generally not all times, but most times, it's a Democrat stronghold that ran into the ground, and it's a Republican that brought it out and like, oh, all things are good. Yeah, we should have a lot of free shit. I am being discriminated against. I mean, I personally haven't felt that way, but I think other people may have. So I'm going to vote for this Democrat dumbass. And then everybody voted for Adams because the dude used to be a cop and they thought he was going to be tough on crime, and he was just as bad as anybody else.
Yeah, well, he's still a Democrat. He's still being paid by the Democrat fucking, DNC. I mean, they're still funding his mayoral elections and shit, so he's got to do what they want to do if he wants to be reelected.
Well, don't get me wrong. I don't feel bad for New Yorkers at all. They
voted.
They brought all that shit on us, or on themselves. Yeah. All the illegals, all that fucking. And then you get these illegals coming here and saying, like, bitching about their living unit. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, go the fuck back home then.
Yeah, it's like, I know Biden invited you, but out of the 300 plus other million people here, other than the blue hairs, yeah, no one invited you.
Yeah, we don't want you here.
And like Trump was right. Like I always thought it might have been slightly hyperbolic about the insane asylums and the jails, but there obviously are setting their shit, like, because they're like gangs coming up. And then, like, I guess Venezuela is like the lowest crime rate it's had in like 40 years.
Yeah, that's because
they shipped all the criminals here. Yeah. So, yeah, New York's a shithole, and it deserves everything it gets.
Yep. And let's brighten this up a little bit. Who is your winner of the week?
Surprisingly, and this will probably be the only time they're my winner of the week, is Google for firing those 28 some odd sit-in protesters that went to, I think, the CEO's office, like outside the office, and sat and protested for Hamas. And I'm super happy that they didn't have some stupid emotional seminar bullshit and they fired every single one of those assholes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm surprised they did it.
Yeah.
I am absolutely surprised. If you get fired by Google for doing like a thing
Left wing
that's,
activist stuff.
yeah, I mean, maybe people are coming, I don't know, kind of rounding out and being like,
Well,
oh,
they're
maybe this isn't
jeopardizing a
good.
$1.5 billion contract.
Yeah, to Israel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people got to understand, yes, they might be, left wing, but, they're still a company who wants to make money.
Yes.
So,
And that's a big money
that
number.
doesn't matter who the fuck you are. If you're going to ruin me trying to make money, you're getting fired.
They'll put up with your bullshit till you start messing with the big ticket items. So yeah, I was happy they fired them, and way to act like a more normal company. So, like I said, this is probably the first and only time Google is a winner of the week, but gotta give them props.
Yeah, well done, Google. My winner of the week is Ron DeSantis. He has proved again he is still the best uh, uh, governor in the country. He pretty much, with his policy on squatters, basically, if you call somebody up, they're squatting your house, there is no 30-day injunction. They get kicked out, they get arrested. No questions asked. Also, his anybody who does a blockade on a road is automatically arrested. There's no bullshit trying to be peaceful about it. Cops come, they get your ass off the street, and you go in the back of their cop cars. So,
Was there any
policy.
protests in Florida that was part of that whole shut down the country thing?
Yes, and they immediately got arrested.
Oh, so they didn't hold people up for hours like that? Because I think
No,
the
no, they
Golden
got
Gate Bridge
arrested.
was like hours.
Chicago O'Hare was like people could not get to the gate, so they're walking like from the
How do
road
you
all the
not
way.
walk by those assholes and start hitting them with whatever is
How
around?
do you not hit them with your fucking car?
Like one guy, I guess is on the bridge. I don't know how this happened, but they had a 55-gallon drum full of concrete, and I don't know if he was holding a bar in it or something. But I was like, all right, you either disconnect yourself from the barrel, or you are going to follow the barrel over the side of the bridge. Like these people are like, and I don't know. I might say that I kind of want to do an episode on protest movements and marches on the way they were and the way they are now. So I'm gonna save my comment on that because I think there's an episode there,
I
which
believe there
might
is
be
too.
coming up next week.
We don't know. Sometimes we say that and we don't do it
Yeah,
at
every
all.
time now that I've said that, it's not going to happen until next season.
I mean, we from first season we were trying to talk about China and we never have.
We never have talked about China.
We haven't. Well, I think it's because it's like a 3-episode type of thing.
Yeah, it's a long one.
So, and I'd like to have a guest for that one.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to be on the show, let us know.
Yeah.
Because we are looking for guests, even if you don't agree with us. Obviously,
All you had to have is a computer with internet. You don't even have
yes,
if your computer has a mic and a built-in camera, that's fine. We just ask you to use headphones.
yes.
That's really all you
So
need.
that's
A laptop with headphones. You don't have to have much fancy shit. You're gonna
yep,
sound like shit, but that just makes us sound better. So we're fine with it.
yeah. Makes us show how professional we are.
Yeah.
So that's our winners and losers of the week. So, Josh, is there anything else you want to talk about before we get to our last segment?
The only thing that happened like shortly after the solo episode last week was I did think it was kind of cool that when Iran attacked Israel, that like Jordan, Egypt, and I think Saudi Arabia, they were all part of the defense
Yeah.
because all those countries hate Iran.
Oh, I know.
They don't come out, and say it out loud, but nobody likes Iran. China uses them for their oil and Russia uses them for their arms, but nobody fucking likes Iran.
No,
So I thought
nobody in
that
the
was
Middle
kind of
East likes
cool.
Iran. They think they're all pieces of shit because they're extremists.
Yeah, and all they do is they're threatening literally. You got to think if they ever got their hands on the nuke, they're the kind of assholes that would use it. So they're literally threatening every life on the planet. So I thought that was interesting, and also I'm getting a little annoyed, and I heard it a lot this week. I thought it was interesting. You know, how Trump went to KFC, or not KFC, but Chick-fil-A, right? Went in there, and he also went into a bodega or something a Wednesday because they don't have enough money to have court on Wednesdays in New York, so that's why he has Wednesdays off. Don't know if you knew that, but that's why they furlough Wednesdays because they can't afford it. Um, but he went in there, and like everywhere Trump goes, well, the funny thing is he went in and bought a bunch of chicken and milkshakes and stuff for people at Chick-fil-A. And then shortly after, Biden tries to do it at another place, buying them sandwiches. So he's just copying Trump. But the reactions, even in New York or Pennsylvania, where he's from, Biden doesn't get the reactions that Trump gets. And that's why that's why 2020 didn't make sense. And if anything happens in this one, if Trump doesn't win this election, we're fucked anyway, because you just can't tell me he didn't plan the Chick-fil-A visit. He didn't plan the bodega or whatever they're called visit in New York. And you could possibly think it's a celebrity, because even a lot of the jurors that hate him, like when they actually saw him, they're all like, "Oh man, that's Trump." But he always is met with a warm welcome. Like people love him, so that's why I don't know. I just everything Biden is saying, including his uncle being shot down, I think in World War II, and being eaten by cannibals, is all a
That was a
fucking
total
lie.
lie. That was a total lie. The White House clarified that he actually got shot down and crashed in the ocean or something.
They ditched in the ocean, yeah.
Oh yeah, they ditched in the ocean, but he did not get eaten by cannibals. Like what the fuck, dude?
Well, and he still tells stories that have been fact checked to be false, and he lies about everything. And that's what pisses me off about all the coverage coming out. Like all these left wing news sources are just like, "Oh my God, Trump! They're going to throw him in jail because he's breaking all his unconstitutional gag orders." Because if you're going to have a gag order on Trump from talking shit about Cohen's ass should have a fucking gag order from talking shit about Trump. That everything about this case is unconstitutional as fuck. But uh, they're like, "Oh yeah, they're definitely throw his ass in jail." I'm like, I think if the Secret Service said he's not going to jail, he ain't going. I don't know how that works, but if they try to throw him in jail and Secret Service is like, "Nope," I don't think he goes. I was like, he's fucking Trump. Where the fuck do you think? If he ever got convicted on anything and had to go to jail, the only thing I can see actually happen is he'd be on house arrest in Mar-a-Lago.
Do you think if people actually try to throw him in jail, do you think that would be the spark that lit the flame for civil war?
I don't know if it'll go that far, but I do think things could possibly get violent if they actually threw him in jail. Because you got to think, there's a lot of people that are suffering right now that can't afford to live. I mean, you got to think, they say that you have to make $12,000 more a year to be able to be where you were at financially when Biden took office. Like,
Tell you what, I haven't made $12,000 more a year.
no. Well, and the median income on average went up for people like $4,000 under Trump. It went down more than 4,000 under Biden. And then you add inflation. So like everybody's suffering. So like there's a lot of people that are seriously looking at Trump thinking he's going to make things better. My life's going to be easier. And if they take that chance away, that hope away by throwing him in jail and having this old decrepit asshole that caused all this shit as really the sole person running, because RFK is not going to have a chance in hell. I mean, Ron or DeSantis might be able to step back in or something, but I don't know. That could be.
I don't know what you do. I don't know what happens if he was like not allowed to run because he's in jail. Can you run if you're in
Generally,
jail?
well, yeah, you can. There's a guy who that guy I used to work with. His dad was at one point a VP pick. I got to figure out this guy's name. Remember it. He ran from jail. He ran for president for jail for like 40 years.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
his name starts with an L. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to look it up and bring it up.
Yeah, look it up. That's a pretty interesting story.
But generally, if you take away, and that's taking away people's voice. So, like, what happens when talking stops? That's when
Well, that's how
violence
tyranny
happens.
starts. Well,
Yeah, and
how
that's when things go. Like, if you're talking
Yeah.
to someone and you're having an argument and you get into a shouting match and words are no longer working, normally at that point, that's when it's fisticuffs.
Yeah.
So, by you removing a candidate And
Taking away
removing
people's
that choice,
voices.
you're taking away people's voices, so you never know what's going to happen. Oh, and that Civil War movie that just came out, it is not what it looks like in the. I was kind of interested to watch it, and I will watch it, but when it comes out on a streaming service, because it is not what it looks like in the the trailer makes it look like it's kind of like a war movie. It's literally just like following four
Yeah, it just follows
reporters.
like 4 reporters across like the country or something.
Yeah, and then the director, I'm not going to. The director makes good movies. He has made good
Yeah,
movies.
yeah. 28 days later, he made that one.
But this dipshit is in an interview saying, "Yeah, you got like your far right people, and they're like known for being like violent, and then the far left's not any better. We get a little self conceited. Like what? Who are the motherfuckers that have been causing billions of dollars in property damage and killing people? You dick." That's how delusional these people are. Like this asshole, and I think this is in a recent interview about Civil War, literally thinks that the right is violent and the left is like conceited. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? At the end of the day, yeah, you've made some good movies, but you are worthless when it comes to advancing the human race. Like what you do doesn't matter. It doesn't give people life. It doesn't feed people. It doesn't house people. You're entertainment. And you sit up there, and that's why people. Katie Couric, I wanted to bring that up too. Her little thing saying
I
that
didn't see
the
this.
only reason she's, Katie Couric is, right?
Yeah.
She was going on saying that Trump voters are people that are jealous of the elites and the rich. And like, and when you envy what someone has, it's poison. And that's what makes them so hateful. It's like, fuck off.
I don't envy those people.
Yeah, basically, we're ignorant.
Yeah, do I want to have money? I don't even want to be. I mean, I wouldn't want to be. I mean, I wouldn't mind being uber rich, but
Yeah, but I don't look at
I
somebody's
just
shit and be like,
basically
oh,
I
I
just
should
want to
have that.
be. No, I don't care about that shit. Basically, I just want to be able to afford what I afforded 4 years ago.
Well, and there's animosity because we're not smart enough to be like the elites. Like we have something against elites. I'm like, no, my problem with the elites is they feel like they're better than everybody else. And a lot of the shit they talk about is theoretical and it doesn't work in the real world. And they're generally pompous assholes.
And 90% of the time, any of these fucking elites, like what the fucking reporters and the entertainers, is that the type of elites we're doing? The people reading shit off teleprompters and the people reading fucking scripts and repeating what the fucking script says. This isn't a fucking skill that helps humanity. You're a sheep for a fucking coalition of fucking Democrats that own your fucking company.
Yeah, the only
So
thing that I think about elites and like the super wealthy is not all of them are assholes. Some of them are, some of them are nice. But if you were going to pigeonhole them, I just don't. They live on different. They live in different realities. They seriously don't understand what's going on, and they think, "Oh, we'll take care of you." I don't want you to fucking take care of me. I want you to get out of my way so I can take care of myself. That's why I think, harkening back to last week, the American dream, people are either wanting to give it to them, or the government's going to be like, "Well, I can do this for you because you can't do it for yourself."
But the
And like,
government
no,
fucks
I
everything
want
up.
you to get the fuck out of my way. I will develop, create, and obtain my own American dream. I don't need your help.
No. And you shouldn't want the help of the government. The government has never really done
With
anything
help
that's
comes
helped.
control.
Yeah. Everything the government touches turns to shit.
It's just like when we helped in World War II. We had part of that agreement for us entering World War II is we got first dibs on all the technology.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we basically get everything, and we may or may not share it with you.
Yeah.
Cool. Send the Abrams.
America. America.
So, yeah, that was about all I had. Just some random
All right.
shit I heard.
Yep. I'm good with that. All right. Well, let's end it up with how we always end up the show.
How do we do that, Kevin?
With the white slur of the week.
What's a honky?
And this week, I am doing wet dog.
What?
Wet dog is a white slur.
Wet dog?
Wet dog. Because when white people get sweaty or wet, they smell like a wet dog. That's his actual white slur. Is people call white people wet dogs because they smell bad when they get wet or.
Is there a certain type of person on this planet that doesn't smell bad when they get sweaty?
I don't know. I
It's
just thought
so
it was
weird.
funny.
No,
I
you guys
thought-
just have the specific wet dog scent.
That's what it said. When
That's
I went to
fucking
the,
funny.
Yeah. I was like, why is wet dog on here? So I looked it up. I was like, oh, when white people get sweaty or wet, they smell like wet dog.
All right. I'm going to keep my ears open for that one.
Yeah.
And like all our white slurs, I will be using that next week.
Yes, absolutely.
I incorporate all our white slurs into my everyday vernacular. Sometimes I'll use them all at once toward one person.
It wasn't like the most original one, I don't think, but it was funny when I read the sweaty or wet. I'm like, that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, is that a white person thing? I thought everybody kind of smelled when they got sweaty.
Yeah. Apparently we're the only ones with body odor.
It didn't say what country of origin or what other race says wet dog about white people, so I couldn't find that.
I don't know. But it's on the internet,
But-
so it's true. So
Yeah.
and it's funny.
So that was the white slur of the week, wet dog.
What's a honky?
Yeah, that was good.
All right. That's all we got this week. Thank you everybody for listening. Again, remember to like, subscribe, and share. I'm not sure if I'm kind of weird. Said trying to reconnect. So I don't know.
Yeah, so did mine. Just keep going.
All right. Well, yeah. So remember, everybody, like, subscribe, and share. Make us popular so we can just do this all the time. Do live.
Visit the
episodes.
merch shop.
Remember to comment. Let us know if you would like to hear a live show or watch a live show, and what day and what time works for you. I mean, we're probably not going to follow.
I mean,
that,
we'll do whatever what day and time works for us, but we would like to know what you think.
if we could accommodate. I mean, everybody.
You never know. We may be able to accommodate one person.
Yeah, whoever comments. So, well, that's it. So I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this was the lost art of common sense.
Common sense, baby.
Common sense! Common sense! You smell like a wet dog.
I'll see you next week, everybody.